Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mr. English Podcast. I'm Emma, and today is day 6 of our 7-day English Grammar Challenge. That means we are almost at the finish line. One more day after today. So if you have stayed with us until now, seriously, give yourself a small clap.
Yes, even a tiny clap is okay. Or if you're listening on the bus, maybe just clap inside your heart. Hey everyone, I'm James, and today we are talking about a grammar topic that sounds a little scary.
Conditionals.
Exactly. The word conditional sounds like something you hear in a serious classroom with a very big grammar book and maybe a teacher who never smiles.
But don't worry. Today, there is no scary classroom, no grammar monster, no test at the end.
Well, maybe a tiny test for fun.
James!
Okay, no scary test.
Here is the truth, friends. Conditionals are not just grammar rules. You use them every day when you talk about real plans, dreams, regrets, habits, and possibilities. For example, if it rains, I will stay home. That is a real plan.
If I had more money, I would travel. That is a dream.
If I had studied harder, I would have passed. That is regret.
And if you heat water, it boils. That is a general rule.
So today, we're going to make conditionals simple. We'll use stories, examples, and normal everyday English, not complicated textbook language.
By the end of this episode, you will understand the 4 main types of conditionals and know when to use each one naturally.
So whether you are drinking coffee, walking outside, cooking breakfast, or still lying in bed thinking, if I sleep 5 more minutes, will my problems disappear? You are in the right place. Sadly, that conditional is false.
Very false.
But your English can improve today. Day 6, conditionals. Let's begin. Welcome. 6 days in. You have shown up every single day this week. And today's lesson is one of the most powerful in the entire series because conditionals unlock a whole new layer of English. Opinions, hypotheticals, regrets, dreams, everything becomes expressible.
Today, James has a regret, and Emma has a dream. And together, they explain all 4 types. Let's begin. Let us start with the simplest, the zero conditional. No drama, no hypotheticals, just facts about the world. Things that are always true. If this happens, this always happens as a result.
If you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. That is a zero conditional. Not a specific situation, not a future plan, a general truth, a fact. Always. Every time.
And in daily conversation, zero conditionals appear constantly as rules and habits. If I drink coffee after 6 o'clock, I cannot sleep. If it rains, Emma takes the bus. If James skips breakfast, he is unbearable before 11.
That last one is completely accurate.
I will not argue with it. But notice the structure. If plus present simple, present simple. Both sides of the sentence, present simple. No will, no would, no past. 2 present simple verbs. If this happens, this always happens. Every time.
If I miss my alarm, I am late. If I eat too much at lunch, I fall asleep at my desk. If the coffee machine breaks, the whole office stops working. Zero conditional. Facts of life. The world operates according to rules, and zero conditional describes them.
Think of zero conditional as the grammar of your own personal laws, the things that are always true for you. If I do not sleep enough, I am impossible to talk to. If James eats breakfast, he is pleasant company. If he does not, he is not.
We have covered this adequately.
First conditional. This is for real situations in the future. Possible, realistic, could actually happen. If this happens, and it genuinely might, then this will be the result.
Emma, your plans for next week.
I have a presentation next week, a big one. I am nervous about it. And I was telling a friend about it, and she said, if you prepare well, you will be fine. That is a first conditional. Real situation. Real possibility. If you prepare, genuinely possible, you will be fine. The result is real.
And I said to her, if the presentation goes well, I'll treat myself to a nice dinner afterwards. Again, real possibility. If it goes well, which it might, I will have that dinner. First conditional. If plus present simple, will plus base verb.
The structure is if plus present simple on one side, will plus base verb on the other. The future is real. The possibility is genuine. If it rains tonight, I will cancel the walk. If she calls back, I will let you know. If you study today, you will feel better tomorrow.
And the two parts can switch position. If it rains, I will cancel. Or I will cancel if it rains. Both correct. When the if clause comes first, there's usually a comma. When the result comes first, no comma needed. Both versions completely natural.
First conditional is the grammar of real plans and real consequences. The future is uncertain, but possible, and the result follows if the condition is met.
Second conditional. And this one, I love this one, because this is the grammar of dreaming, of imagination, of all the things that are not real right now, but you wish they were.
Emma, your dream.
If I had unlimited money, I would buy a house by the sea. Not a real plan. I do not have unlimited money. This is not happening. But if in an imaginary world I had it, I would buy that house immediately. Second conditional. Unreal present situation, imaginary result.
The structure. If plus past simple on one side, would plus base verb on the other. If I had, past simple. I would buy, would plus base. Even though we are talking about a present or future situation, we use past simple in the if clause because the past distance signals this is not real.
If I were taller, I would play basketball. Not real. I am not taller, but hypothetically, if I were, I would play. If James lived near the coast, he would swim every morning.
I genuinely would. The ocean and I have an understanding.
And notice were. If I were taller, not if I was taller. Grammatically, were is correct for all persons in the second conditional if clause. If I were, if she were, if he were. However, in spoken casual English, if I was is extremely common and widely accepted. Both forms are used by native speakers.
In writing, were. In conversation, both were and was are natural. Do not worry too much about this. The important thing is the overall structure. If plus past, would plus base.
Second conditional is the grammar of the life you would live if things were different. If I were braver, if I had more time, if the world worked differently. Imagination lives here.
Third conditional. And this is the deepest one, because this is the grammar of looking back, of changing the past in your mind, of regret and of relief.
James, your regret.
A few years ago, I had the opportunity to move to a different city for a job, a very good job. I chose not to go. And sometimes, not often, but sometimes I think about it. If I had taken that job, I would have moved to Edinburgh.
Third conditional. The situation is in the past. It is over. It cannot change. But you are imagining, what if it had been different? If I had taken, past perfect, I would have moved, would have plus past participle.
The structure. If plus past perfect on one side, would have plus past participle on the other. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. If she had left earlier, she would have caught the train. If they had known about it, they would have come.
All finished situations, all changed in the imagination. The past perfect takes you back before the moment. Would have shows you the alternative result that never happened.
And third conditional can express both regret and relief. Regret. If I had taken that job, I would have moved. I did not take it. I wonder. But relief. If I had stayed home, I would have missed the whole thing. I am glad I went. I am glad it happened the way it did.
Third conditional is honest. It looks at what was and quietly asks, what if?
If I had taken that job, I would have moved to Edinburgh. Emma, have you ever been to Edinburgh?
I have never been, but I am going to go.
And now you know exactly which tense to use for each of those sentences.
Let us put all four side by side. Same topic, studying. 0. If I study every day, I improve. General truth. Always happens. Present simple, present simple. First, if I study tonight, I will feel better tomorrow. Real future possibility. If plus present, will plus base verb. Second, if I studied more, I would speak English better. Unreal present. I do not study as much as I should. Imaginary result. If plus past, would plus base verb. Third, if I had studied harder at school, I would have had more options. Past regret. Cannot change. If plus past perfect, would have plus past participle.
4 conditionals. 4 different relationships with reality. 0, always true. First, might happen. Second, not real right now. Third, already happened, cannot change.
And the journey goes real to unreal to past. 0 is certain. First is possible. Second is imaginary. Third is finished.
Friends, first comment challenge. Write one sentence using any conditional about your English learning. If I practice every day, I improve. Or if I had started earlier, I would have been fluent by now. Any form, any level. Drop it below. We read every one.
Let us have a real conversation using all 4 conditionals naturally. Emma, ask me something.
Okay. If you could change one decision from your past, what would it be?
If I had taken that job in Edinburgh, I would have had a very different life. Different friends, different experiences. I think about it sometimes. Third conditional, past alternative.
Do you regret it?
Not entirely. If I had gone, I would never have met some of the people who matter most to me now. So, mixed feelings.
And if you got a similar opportunity now, what would you do?
If I got a similar opportunity now, I would think very carefully before deciding. Second conditional, hypothetical present. The situation is not real, but it is possible to imagine.
And what is your general rule for big decisions like that?
If I face a big decision, I always write down the pros and cons. 0 conditional. My personal rule. Always true for me.
And if you get the chance to visit Edinburgh this year, will you go?
If I get the chance, I will absolutely go.
First conditional.
Real possibility, real result.
All 4 conditionals. One natural conversation about one decision from James's past. That is what conditionals sound like in real life. Not a grammar table, a conversation between 2 people.
Three common conditional mistakes, plus one live one from James. Mistake number 1, using will in the if clause of a first conditional. Wrong. If it will rain tomorrow, I will stay home. Correct. If it rains tomorrow, I will stay home. Will never goes in the if clause. The if clause uses present simple for first conditional. Not will, not going to. Present simple, always.
Mistake number 2, using would in the if clause of a second conditional. Wrong. If I would have more time, I would study. Correct. If I had more time, I would study. Would belongs in the result clause, not the if clause. The if clause uses past simple. If I had, if she knew, if they came. Never if I would.
Mistake number 3, mixing second and third conditional. Wrong. If I had more money, I would have traveled more. Present situation, mixed with past result. Correct. Either, if I had more money, I would travel more. Second conditional, present unreal. Or, if I had had more money, I would have traveled more. Third conditional, past. Keep both halves of the same conditional type together. Second conditional, both sides, or third conditional, both sides.
And the live one. Earlier I said, if I would take that job, I would have moved.
If I would take. James, no. Would in the if clause? Never. If I had taken. Past perfect, third conditional. Or if I took. Past simple, second conditional. Never if I would. Would belongs only in the result clause. If I had taken, if I took. Never if I would take. The result has would, not the if.
Friends, the rule is simple. Would is never in the if clause. Look at your sentence. Find the if clause. Remove any would you find there. Replace it with the right form. Every time.
Short practice. 4 sentences. Identify which conditional each one is and why. 1. If you press that button, the alarm goes off. 0 conditional. General truth. Present, present. Always happens every time. 2. If she calls, I will let you know. First conditional. Real future possibility. Present, will plus base. 3. If I spoke better English, I would feel more confident at work. Second conditional. Unreal present. Past, would plus base. You want better English. You are working on it. But right now, hypothetical. 4. If I had listened to my teacher, I would have saved myself a lot of confusion. Third conditional. Past regret. Past perfect. Would have plus past participle.
Say all 4 out loud. Feel the difference between them. 0, fact. First, real. Second, dream. Third, regret. That feeling, that is how you will choose the right one in conversation.
And your second comment challenge.
Write a third conditional sentence about your English learning journey. If I had, what would you have done differently? We want the honest answers.
Day 6 complete. 4 conditionals. 0, general truths, if plus present, present. First, real future possibility, if plus present, will plus base. Second, unreal hypothetical, if plus past, would plus base. Third, past regret or alternative, if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle.
And the one rule that holds for all of them, would never goes in the if clause. Never. Find the if clause, the would lives in the other half. Always.
James did not take the job in Edinburgh. He stayed. He met people who matter. And if he had gone, this podcast might not exist. We might not be here together on day 6 of this series. And you might be listening to something much less interesting.
Third conditional. Right there. If I had gone, I would not have been here. And I am very glad I am here. Tomorrow, day 7, the final day. Modal verbs. Can, could, should, must, might. 5 essential modals that cover ability, possibility, advice, necessity, and uncertainty. The grand finale of the 7-day grammar challenge. 6 days done, 1 to go. Give today a like if it helped you. It genuinely means everything. Subscribe for the final episode tomorrow. And leave us your conditional sentences in the comments. We are reading every single one right to the end. 6 days of showing up, 1 more to go. If you come back tomorrow, and I think you will finish something most learners never finish. See you tomorrow on Mr. English Podcast.